structures of the ANC from the branch level, regional, provincial and national also deals with our resolution coming out of this Lekgotla. So we have been engaged in this for the past 2 days, but key to these issues that have come up is to make sure that we provide a safer environment for our own communities, because where we are, our citizens and also the ANC were worried about the infiltration in our JCPS cluster. So that is the matter that has been a matter of the Commission to say, how do we deal with it and bring the trust that people can still trust the police, can still trust our justice system and everybody that is involved, so that we reduce the crimes that are happening within our communities, also the scourge of GBVS, also we increase on conviction, because arresting, one of the issues that came up is that we would not go out and be happy with the number of arrests that we have made, but the conviction thereof is a bit lesser. So that conviction must speak to the number of arrests, and hence a matter of saying thorough investigation, bringing cases before the court of law for a conviction rate that our communities will be happy about. Also deal with your fighting corruption and also support those institutions that deals with your asset recovery, and also making sure that we strengthen our border, because if you still have porous borders, we would not win the battle. And also making sure that that confidence is brought back to our government. So there are a lot of recommendations. We'll give you a brief, Chair. Not everything that we have done, because we must still report also to plenary these matters in terms of us, and also talking about prioritizing the demilitarization on professionalizing SAPS, because for us it's key. Our communities must find comfort in going to SAPS, opening cases, giving back the service, because we are a police service with the harsher hand, but also deal with the issues in terms of socializing the entire community, participating in our structures of your CPS, of your community safety forums, because safety in our country is a priority number one. And all of us working with our communities, with our structures, that has been our priority. And also intensification of our national anti-corruption strategy. It's a key matter that has been elevated. Hence the Commission said everybody must make sure that they play their part, because our strategy, it brings all organs of state, it brings communities, it brings traditional leadership, it brings everybody on board. Hence also the rolling out and making sure that our communities understand our national strategy in terms of anti-corruption strategy and fighting crime. It is known by all of us. So currently, Chair, I've just tried in brief in dealing with those, but also a matter that came up in Home Affairs, also strengthening of the borders and making sure that we resource them in terms of the allocation of the needed personnel, in making sure that we monitor and we patrol our borders, and also make sure that our communities are safe. Also making sure that our issues of correctional services, also there's issues that we must do of monitoring our parolees, making sure that those that are in our facilities, they don't re-offend, but also making sure that they are not seen, because our communities has been hard on us to say we're seen as if they are living their life, but also to deal with that and correct the conduct, but implementing a lot of strategies to make sure that they feel safe, our communities. Chair, for now, I'll pose to and give back to your session before delivering it to the plenary.
Yeah, thank you, our scriber. Comrade Lindy is going to be our presenter when we reconvene at plenary. Those are the issues we dealt with. But one of the areas that we think is of importance that the Commission express a strong view on is the role of our structures, and in particular branches of the organization, because crime takes place at a locality, at a ward, and that is where the basic unit of the organization find expression in. And therefore, the Commission felt very strong that branches of the organization and all structures of the organization must play a leading role in the fight against crime, corruption, and GBV cases to ensure that the reduction of crime becomes a success. I think those are the issues that, Chair, one can make an addition. And we know, Chair spokesperson, that you were engaged, and we resolved with the office that we will proceed and you will join us. We are happy that you were able to join this session. I must also add, Comrade Lindy, that our commission was blessed, particularly today, with the participation of the president of the organization. He participated like any other member of that commission, and he made meaningful contribution that the commission has integrated into the report that we'll be presenting to plenary.
All right. Thank you very much, comrades. Indeed, I was held up. Thank you, comrades, for getting started. I am now going to open for quick questions. You know the drill, colleagues, and you said comrades. Eyewitness News.
Tabisogo from Eyewitness News. I just wonder if you have, you spoke about around the borders and peace and security. I just wonder if you have maybe a comment on the situation that's been happening in Addington and Durban and North Beach. We've seen March and March Operation to do the sort of coming to a primary school and, having these protests. We've seen armed police officers sort of barricading a primary school. And, obviously that image, obviously, in front of a primary school with these armed police officers, it's quite worrying. So I just wonder if you have sort of a comment on that kind of situation that's been happening, because it's also been happening here in Gauteng, but maybe in smaller parts where these groups feel that, foreign children are being prioritized over local children. So I just want you to comment on that issue.
Any of you comments?
Yeah, sure. Why we felt that branches should play a role in this is because at a local level, criminal activities takes place. And in an instance where you are talking of people thinking undocumented foreign nationals are occupying their space, when there is a vacuum, spaces get occupied, and I think this is a typical example. But if our structures are effective and alive to the experiences that our people are going through, they will be able to give proper guidance and direction on how things should be done.
Thank you very much. I'm going to take SABC.
It's Natasha Keeling here from SABC. Just one question for Dr. Matane and one question for yesterday we spoke about the president. We spoke to the president about this issue. But the recent state of these brazen killings, the gun violence, the criminality that we've been seeing in Boysens, Cape Town, the shootings, the killings of all these people, Adrian as well. Will you redouble your efforts to actually deal with these acts of criminality, especially outside courts?
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, probably saw the statement where they have condemned the city of Tshwane of trying to disconnect the power and the Have you engaged with the mayor, what's at play here, and are there any concerns raised? You're trying to disconnect electricity in a correctional facility. Are you not worried about that? Thank you.
No, thanks for that. In fact, one of the resolutions the Commission has taken is specifically on that aspect of violent crime taking place, particularly in your Western Cape and other hotspots in the country. The recommendation from the Commission is that the state must heighten its response to this, because we need to assert the authority of the state. I know that in the past there have been responses to this type of violent crime, and it has persisted to happen, like you are giving an example of the recent incidences. Yes, there is a resolution, and we are going to respond as the state, not necessarily as police, but it will be a multidisciplinary effort by all organs of state that will respond to ensure that we drastically deal with this problem that is persistent in those areas you mentioned.
No, thank you very much. For the question that you have raised, though it's not the matter of the Lekgotla, but it's a matter that is happening, we've issued out a statement as correctional services by the actions by the Tshwane municipality. But previously they started last week on our national office, and we gave them proof of payment, and that the correctional service doesn't own the building of Pythons, and it's all we are leasing, we are tenants, but we provided them with proof of of payments. But also what they did, and they are saying they are going to do it tomorrow, to go to Hoshimampuru. Also they were not owing them. We've worked with Public Works, because all facilities of government, the landlord is Public Works, and rates and taxes and billing of issues, when there's issues, they were raised with Public Works. But especially in Hoshimampuru, we are paying direct to the city, and we have paid. But what Tshwane is pulling, especially the mayor, coming live TikTok and cutting us off, she's threatening the security. We are a facility that doesn't hold Christians or preschool kids. They are hardcore criminal. It's a supermax facility. Switching off illegally, so when we have paid, what she tried to do, even yesterday, it is really not tolerated. And at the level of administration, our national commissioner has engaged with the municipal manager, but at our level, we're still going to engage with the mayor, because I've been a mayor myself. When facilities or government bodies or entities owes you as a municipality, you start IGR, intergovernmental relations, talk to them, give them the bill, agree on settlement, because the danger was that if there was any switch off in terms of that facility, you'll have your bester being out here. They will run for their life. Imagine everybody will be saying it's freedom, because our system is run and operated with electricity, and it threatens the security. But also we'll have a meeting as a ministry to talk to the executive mayor in terms of how they should approach us in future, because the stance they are pulling, really it's not going to assist the entire country. It's endangering especially the community that resides within our facilities or around them.
Thank you very much, ANC.
All right, thanks. From ANC. Deputy Minister, I want to start there. Actually, I think last night, the National Commissioner, Tubakale, when he was asked as to whether there had been engagements, or he engaged with the executive mayor, he said, I can't engage with her because she's a political principal, I'm an administrator. And you saying they started sometime last week, aiding that they are also going there possibly tomorrow. It appears, and correct me if I'm missing the point, it appears as if, because you are yet to speak to her at the political level, you left it until late. It's as if you call it a stunt, but she would possibly have some argument. Do you acknowledge that perhaps you could have dealt with it better at the political level? Maybe coming back to the briefing, I think there was a mention of saying, as the commission, you were worried about you're worried about the infiltration of the criminal justice system. And with what we are seeing through the Afro Committee and Matanga Commission, to what extent has that infiltration, Deputy Minister Matanga, compromised the crime-fighting efforts? And the last question speaks to, and just how deep they go, to your knowledge. On the issue of GBV and femicide, the President announced that it's a national disaster. In practical terms, just give us some elucidation as to this is how the efforts to fight this very unique crime of GBV, which we know is happening at times even in bedrooms and in houses. How is it going to be approached differently?
Yeah, look, it's a fact that you have a Matanga Commission and you have the ad hoc committee as a consequence of a press statement that was made by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, and subsequent to that you have had various people appearing before the two committees. As far as last week, there was a comment by one of those who appeared there that over 80% or 80% of the leadership or of police officers are compromised. I don't agree with that. What I accept is that you have elements within the police management and police generally who work with criminals. And these are elements that must be dealt with. The Madlanga Commission and the ad hoc committee is giving us an opportunity to reset policing in the country. As we speak currently now here, I can't say crime has been compromised by these challenges that we are confronted with, because we are able, with the leadership that we have, to respond to the threat that we're confronted with. We are able to deal with people who are engaged in criminal activities. I think arrests are taking place and people are appearing in court. So clearly, SAPS is doing its work. Work is continuing. Yes, we are accounting, because we must be held accountable for the things that we do. We must go to the Madlanga Commission and to the ad hoc and explain ourselves in that regard. That is going to happen, but this is not going to stop policing from taking place in the country. Policing is taking place in the country.
Just to respond on the issues you've raised, it's not that we've left it too much. Remember, those in terms of the legislation, there are functions that are for the National Commissioner and the Minister. So we started there administratively. That is why we said that joint technical committee between ourselves as correctional services, also with the municipality, they will engage on this, because we must bring our financial team and also those of public works, so that we can have a sit down. Because when I would have gone out to speak on this matter like they did, it will be seen as political interference on the administrative issue. So that thin line of separating administrative, because who runs and pay, you've got your CFOs, you've got your finance section, not the ministry. But where it becomes politically or of a policy matter, then that's where we come in. So we've let administrators to deal and clean that matter. But if it persists, then it's when, but the ministry's office, it sits with that matter, because we're seeing also it's trying to make our department to be a political football, and would not want to, because really we want municipalities to collect if they are being owed, but don't use it in a manner. And when you go and do your work and collect, you don't bring media houses along with you. You must do your work ordinarily, have your cut-off list, and follow your process in terms of cut-offs, not what we're seeing.
Thank you very much. The matter of the gender-based violence.
Remember, the issue of the gender-based violence and femicide has been declared. And when a matter is declared, it means it's a challenge. And when you go through the legislation and the rolling out of it, it means we must bring resources. Part of what we said also in the commission is that Minister Chikunga must meet also with Treasury, because it's part of the activities that must happen, as it has been declared, to resource the department. And also every department must play its role, because it touches everybody. And how we roll it out, there are committees that are established at the level of the province and the district and municipalities to oversee these matters, and where the bodies exist, there's lesser cases and successful sentencing in terms of the cases that were brought before the court, and making sure that we pull resources, work together to Zela centers where they prepare these cases, give support to the victims, and making sure that we work as a collective. Because the declaration means bring everything, let's work together as a collective. Because everybody was doing their own, we were working in silos, but here we're saying let's attack GBVF, all of us, because really it is the matter that needs everybody's attention.
Thank you. I will have Pavel, and we'll be wrapping up after that. Hello?
Thank you. Gosnati Shazi, Power FM. Just one question on the matter of fighting crime and anti-corruption. The term of KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is set to come to an end on the 30th of March this year. Now, of course, he brought into light just some of the allegations of the capture of the criminal justice system. Now, not to sound as if you guys will be endorsing him, but just as the ANC or maybe the Deputy Minister, you can answer this. Have those discussions been raised here at the Lekgotla, and will you guys be supporting him for a second term? Thank you very much.
Well, the Lekgotla was not meant to discuss term of offices of officers. We were discussing crime broadly on what we need to do as the organization, but also what our deployees must do in government. The matter of what happened or the management of contract is a responsibility that the National Commissioner is seized with, and it's a matter that he's attending to, and obviously as a ministry at some point will be taken on board around that, and we will await that engagement with the National Commissioner. But however, we support the work that all our commissioners are doing, the National Commissioner, his deputies, and Provincial Commissioner, and in particular, General Mkhwanazi. We support him, and we are happy with what they've been doing so far.
Thank you very much. And any closing comments?
No, our closing remarks as the subcommittee or the commission is that fighting crime, it should be everybody's business. And we must go back there to our structures, to our residents. Let's establish those and have street committees, know your neighbor, respond to issue. Don't turn a blind eye, because now the mood has changed that people will take videos instead of intervening. Let us be a participant in our government. It is our country. We don't have any other. It takes everybody to be a safer country. Let us not look away when bad things are happening. The ANC still remain the leader, and also it's within our communities. We are one organization that has a footing from one area to another. Our footing, our communities must feel it, and our structures should respond to these issues of fighting crime and corruption. And those that are rotten within ourselves, those ones we must disassociate with and make sure that our justice system is still credible and be trusted by our own citizens.
I guess you are comfortable, colleagues, for us to close this and to thank members of the National Executive Committee, Comrade Lindo Njalinjali and Comrade Castle Matale, who are also deputy ministers deployed in government. I think the responses were crisp. That's why I don't see a lot of hands that are jumping up and down. But thank you very much, colleagues. We'll see each other at the closing session, but we will keep you informed. Thank you.
When is the closing?
Tomorrow.
We will keep
You must be guided by the spokesperson.
We will keep you informed. No, they will not stop. Yeah. I will keep you informed. I will come.
She will come and interact with herself if we may. Thank you.